Look for the bare necessities, the simple bare necessities. Forget about your worries and your stuff. The Jungle Book is directed by Jon Favreau and stars many voice talents of Bill Murray, Ben Kingsley, Idris Elba, Scarlett Johansson, Lupita Nyong'o, Giancarlo Esposito, and there's only one human character, this kid, whose name I don't know, as Mowgli. This is a reimagining of the classic 1960s animated Disney film, and it also incorporates some of the books that came out in the 1800s, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, if I am, I apologize. I haven't seen the original Jungle Book in like 10 years. It's been like a minute since I've seen it. I was going to rewatch it in preparation for this, but I didn't have time, so now I kind of want to rewatch it. I'm not going to describe the plot because I feel like everyone knows. This man called Mowgli is in the jungle. He's been raised by the wolves. Then he goes on a big adventure. That's really it. I'm not going to spoil anything just in case you guys don't know, which will be shocking if you guys don't know the story of the Jungle Book. Well, at least the Disney story, at least. I've been super excited for this film. I really love the marketing. Jon Favreau sounded so passionate about this film. From interviews, from panels, everything I've seen, I could tell that this guy was super passionate about the film that he was releasing. And I gotta tell you, the movie's fantastic. I loved The Jungle Book. There's so much heart, there's emotion, there's humor, there's action. It's a beautiful film. The scope, the visuals, oh my god. This film's already an early contender for best visual effects right now. I could barely tell that there was CGI in this film. I knew it was CGI, but if you're someone who didn't, you're like, it just looks so real. The animals look so real. And this film was filmed entirely on a soundstage in Los Angeles. The only real thing was the actor that played Mowgli. And maybe there were a few like rocks and tree branches and stuff, but everything was CGI. It looked so real that I have to give credits to the VFX team. Jon Favreau really trusted them. And his direction was perfect. The movie just flies by very quickly. There's a lot of good heart and emotion in this movie, like I said earlier, that I don't think anyone could have directed the film with the amount of passion that Jon Favreau had. I'm really like, bravo to you, Jon Favreau. The writing too was actually surprisingly very good. I was worried because it was a first time writer. I always get worried with these kinds of things. But this guy did a very good job. I love the back and forth between all these characters. And that leads into the acting. Let's talk about the voice acting. Bill Murray kills it as Baloo. I thought that he would just phone it in because that's what it seems like Bill Murray's been doing lately with his performances. But he had so much humor to the role that he was perfect. Ben Kingsley as Bagheera, the mentor type of character that's always in Ben Kingsley. I love that. But Idris friggin' Elba as Shere Khan. The Shere Khan in the original Disney film is just like, oh yeah, I'm evil, yeah, but in a good way. This one is pissed from beginning to end. And you can understand why, because there's some backstory involved in his character, and it was so interesting. Like, I love the kind of backstories they have surrounding these characters and stuff. It's really compelling stuff. And like Cinderella, and this is one of the few Disney live-action adaptations that just works. Like, Cinderella and this worked very well. This, I think, might be better than Cinderella, because while I really like that one, there were some story issues with it that kind of bugged me. But this one worked well from beginning to end. There's a lot of violent stuff, too. There's not as much violent stuff as you would think, but honestly, I didn't expect it to be that violent. And now, Scarlett Johansson. I love Scarlett Johansson. Apparently, Jon Favreau cast her because of how great her vocal performance was in Her. I liked her voice, but I don't think it fit the character. Yes, the character is very seductive in that kind of evil, luring way. But I saw this film with my friend Autumn, and I was talking with her, and she kind of told me that her voice just didn't really work for this character, and that's totally fine. I think that's going to be a hit or miss thing with a lot of people. For me, it was just But she really didn't have any intention of being in here. You could have taken out that character easily, but I get it. They wanted to be faithful to the Disney adaptation. And I forgot to mention someone. King Louie, played by Christopher Walken. The voice was perfect, although there was a song that he sung. It wasn't needed, but you know, it's Christopher Walken, and who doesn't love Christopher Walken? And the kid that played Mowgli was fantastic. I cannot wait to see what else he does after this, but I love his interaction with stuff that isn't there. It's like the kid from Life of Pi, him acting with that Richard Baca tiger, It looked so realistic, and yet the tiger wasn't even there. So yeah, The Jungle Book was excellent. This is definitely going to be in my top 10 of the year. I'm really hoping it is. I love this film pretty much from beginning to end. My only flaw with the movie was, like I said, the Scarlett Johansson thing, but still, I really, really love this movie. I'm going big. I'm going to give the film a solid A. Guys, tell me down below what you thought of this movie. If you saw it, did you ever see the original one, the animated one? What you think of it? And if so, do you think this film is on the same level? Do you think it's worse, or do you think it's better? Like I said, I haven't seen the original in like a decade, so I can't compare, but I will watch it soon, and maybe I'll compare it, maybe on my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. Guys, thank you so much for watching this review. See you guys soon.